Welcome back. Well, the end of the year is usually a frantic time for staff at Johannesburg's Maxeke Academic Hospital. That facility's trauma unit has to deal with injuries, amongst other things, because of violence that happens in surrounding neighborhoods. Now, our reporter Maxeke is visiting the hospital to check on the situation there. She joins us now live. Maxeke, so what kinds of prep takes place as we count down to the new year? We know it can be incredibly hectic around the Johannesburg CBD in particular.
Good morning, Michelle. And I mean, right now at the trauma unit here at the Maxeke Academic Hospital, doctors and nurses are actually calling it the calm before the storm, because the unit is actually not very busy right now. The few patients that they have actually have probably been here for a while already. But the festive season, according to what the doctors and nurses say, is that it's not too busy at Maxeke, but days such as today, 31st, at around 11 p.m. onwards, that's when you'll see actually the busyness that happens here. It's apparently very, very busy at that time. People, like you said, coming with injuries from outside. People, I don't know, during the festive season somehow become too excited. Then they shoot each other, stab each other, weird things like that, Michelle. But I do have the deputy head of this trauma unit, Dr. Reuven Jacks, and he's just going to speak to us specifically about the readiness in the hospital. Dr. Jacks, thank you very much for joining us. You're live on ENCA. I just wanted to find out, first of all, how ready is the hospital for that storm that comes after the calm that is happening right now?
Okay, we like to say the C before the S, because if you say the calm before the storm, you're kind of, making it that the storm's going to happen. So we don't say quiet, we say Q, so those are the different things. How ready are we? You can never be ready enough. This hospital is designated as one of the disaster hospitals of the Gauteng and Johannesburg region. As such, we have to always be in a state of preparedness for any disaster and any form of trauma that does come in. As a South African hospital, we do experience massive amounts of trauma. I remember a Canadian doctor from Toronto once visiting us, and after his first weekend here, he said that he saw more trauma than he's seen in 4 years of his training in Toronto. So we're no stranger to large amounts of trauma and high volumes of trauma. We do have a disaster preparedness program in place. We even have a mass casualty program in place. We shouldn't need that tonight. That would usually be reserved for when a train derails and 200 patients come in at a time. But typically, if I've been working in this area, in this region of trauma, I am a trauma surgeon for many years. I've been working New Year's Eve, and it does get busy. So as you correctly said in your intro, what's going to happen is we're going to have the unit looking like you can see it does at the moment, and then everybody goes off in parties, and the alcohol definitely contributes. Remember, usually at midnight people are sleeping, and you don't get injured in trauma when you're sleeping, but now everyone is awake and they're partying. Add to that the disinhibition of alcohol plus criminal elements, and you're going to get a lot of trauma. We expect from about midnight onwards the patients to start rolling in. We do have staff that we try to make sure, even if we're short-staffed on other days, we try and make sure our staff complement is full for tonight so we can handle it. Our doctors that are already here are well-seasoned. Even the training ones have been with us for almost a year. We get a lot of volunteers coming in tonight especially, and they help a phenomenal amount, the volunteers as well. So we've never not been able to handle it. It's always busy. Sometimes it's not more busy than an end-of-the-month weekend if it's an incredibly busy end-of-the-month weekend. So we don't expect not to be able to handle it. We definitely do. It will be busy. It will tax all the staff to their maximum, which is something that unfortunately we're used to in this region.
Now, Doctor, tell me, there's some sort of partnership that you have with the city of Johannesburg and the Hillbrow police station that's going to also just come into effect tonight. Can you just elaborate a little bit about that?
Right. I think so. It started maybe almost 20 years ago where things were actually a lot busier then. Thankfully, due to increased policing, things have quietened down a bit. But when it had started, the volume of trauma and shootings, and specifically heavy objects falling from buildings, you'll be amazed at what we see: refrigerators and microwaves. We've even seen a piano come out of a balcony onto somebody's head. So it's quite dangerous for normal ambulances to enter into Hillbrow. So the City of Johannesburg sets up in the Hillbrow police station, so in the basement parking lot, they clear out all the cars, and they set up stretchers on the floor and the resuscitation equipment, and set up basically what we call a temporary casualty clearing station, so like a temporary hospital. And the armor-proof ambulances leave from there, go into Hillbrow, pick the patients up, bring them back to that temporary station, and from that temporary station they'll be stabilized and then brought across to here or other hospitals as necessary, but we will be the main drainage hospital for that area. So I myself have been manning that station in Hillbrow for the last probably 11 years, and hopefully many more in the future. And I also work over here, so we have a very close communication with what's going on here. So it's a three-tiered system. The crew that we go into with the armor-proof vehicles to fetch the patients, bring them into the safe zone, which is at Hillbrow Station, and then bring them across here.
Lastly, Doctor, what type of injuries do you usually treat at this time? I know you were saying that sometimes actually month end, a normal month end, and not a December one, coupled with the fact that it's New Year's Eve, sometimes it's quite busy during a normal month end. But during those times, and specifically today, what type of injuries do you expect to be actually working on?
Right, so on a normal month-end weekend, we're going to see a mixture of probably more penetrating trauma, so that's stabbings is probably going to be our most common injury. Shootings as well, that'll be the other penetrating one. And then the occasional motor vehicle collision or pedestrian vehicle collision, which will be what we call a blunt trauma. So we'll definitely be seeing those tonight as well. Remember, people are drinking and then going home from their parties. Obviously, they shouldn't be doing that, but they're inebriated and they're driving now, so that can cause motor vehicle collisions. Or they're inebriated and walking across the road, and then you're going to get knocked over. The stabbings and the shootings, unfortunately, we will be seeing them again. But added to that, we're going to be seeing quite a few fall from heights. So people are inebriated on their balconies in the high buildings over there, and then they're not stable, so they fall off the balcony. So we tend to see a lot of fall from heights. We do see fireworks injuries. A lot of them, specifically people who are holding a fireworks in their hand, and they don't get to throw it away from their hands quick enough, and then they cause significant injury to the hand or other burns. And then a phenomenon that I'm sure only exists over here is in the buildings, people aim the firecrackers at other people's apartments, and then often there's fires in the apartments. So we have seen quite a few fire or burn victims as well.
I know I said that's my last question, Doctor, but I have the very last one.
Sure.
The public healthcare system, Charlotte Maxeke being one of the biggest hospitals in the region, there's been news of short staff. The minister himself earlier this year saying it's quite a big problem, and of course the type of attitude from working staff that people complain about. The short-staffedness obviously adds to that because people have to look after more patients. If there's supposed to be 5 of you and there's only 2, obviously the pressure is a lot. Is that okay at Charlotte Maxeke for today? Are we battling this as well today? Just a little bit about that.
So this is an ongoing battle, and there can be no doubt that in the government health system we are definitely short-staffed. There can be no question. And as you've said, the patient-to-staff ratio is not what it would be anywhere else in the world. So that's a problem. Tonight, obviously, we try and do concentrate because we expect it to be busy. So if any overtime shifts or something like that, we will try and have them there. But that will definitely not be enough. And that's where our volunteers tonight will come in useful. We do get a lot of volunteers. If any volunteers are watching this and want to come, they're welcome to contact us and we can set it up for them tonight. But that is an ongoing problem. I'm not going to say that it isn't. Thankfully, tonight we do put a little bit more emphasis on it, but then we have to go back to tomorrow and the next day where we'll be back to the severe staff shortages.
I hope that gets sorted, Doctor. Thank you very much for joining us on ENCA. Well, there you have it, Michelle. Ready, but of course there are some more problems that go beyond today. It's back to you in studio.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks very much for that. Our reporter Maxeke having quite an interesting discussion there. Just a note to all of us to take care as we ring in the new year.